Hi everyone, my name is QP and thank you so much for joining me in this video. Alright, so a couple weeks ago I posted a video on polygel nails and how to use polygel nails to create a at-home acrylic look without actually using acrylic. And so I figured in this video I would do an update for anyone who is interested and curious to see how long polygel nails last. So as I mentioned in my polygel nail video, polygel nails are kind of like a hybrid between acrylics and gel nails. Polygel is able to form more like acrylic where it's a lot thicker and it's more malleable without it losing its structure, but it's able to be cured similarly to gel nails, so you don't have to work as fast as acrylic. Since acrylics you pretty much have just until it dries before it hardens. So I feel like in that sense it's a little bit more forgiving than acrylic nails. And once you cure the polygel with a curing lamp, it hardens up very similarly to acrylic. I would say it's not as hard as acrylic, but it's still really hard and really sturdy. Another thing that sets polygel nails apart from acrylics and gel is that they come with these dual forms. You get a box of different size forms that you actually put the gel in and then you fit it onto your fingers, and so it pretty much creates a mold for the nails, and so that's how you're able to create the fake nails without really using a tip or anything like that. And that's what kind of makes it unique. So I originally did my nails on August 5th. It is now August 19th, so it's been exactly 2 weeks since I originally did my nails, and to be honest, they're actually holding up pretty well. They're lasting a lot longer than I thought they would. If this was applied properly, I can definitely see polygel nails lasting 3 to 4 weeks easily. So let's talk about the cons. I have noticed a few issues with these nails with this particular manicure. However, this is my first time ever trying polygels because I'm pretty sure my technique was not correct and I have a lot of learning to still do with this particular product. So one of the first things I noticed that is after about a week of having these, I've noticed that there was a lot of lifting close to the cuticles, and I think the reason for that is because these dual forms are pretty flat and my nail beds are actually pretty curved, and so it's just not fitting onto my nails perfectly. I feel like the dual forms kind of it's supposed to be like a one-size-fit-all, but it's not normally the case. Like, you can't have one-size-fit-all when everyone's nail beds are different and they are shaped differently. And I feel like because of that, one of the issues was just the cuticles not looking really neat. And I feel like a lot of it is because of the dual forms, because of just how flat they were. I wasn't able to get it to go down and create like a gradual incline on my nails and away from the cuticles, and if I did do that, then it would just lift it like super far off of the tip, and it just wasn't, I don't know, it was almost kind of like a teeter-totter effect. I think to better explain this, I need to like draw this for you guys. Okay. So let's pretend this is my finger. It's a very ugly drawing of my finger. Actually, that's not my finger. This is a normal nail. My nail bed is more like this. And so my tip is like down here, and my cuticles are right here. And the dual form is like this. Okay, so let's just pretend that this blue thing right here is the dual form. As you guys can see, since my nail bed is so curved, it makes contact with the top of the nail right here, but it leaves a little bit of space on the cuticle and a little bit of space at the tip. So if I were to press down on the cuticle part, it's going to lift this up and not really attach to the tip of my nails. But then if I do the tips, then the cuticle isn't attached, and so I kind of had to just like rest it in the middle here, which means that there's not really great adhesion on the cuticles nor on the tip of my nail bed. So that's kind of where my problem is. It almost kind of creates this like teeter-totter effect where it's kind of just tipping back and forth, and I think it's for that reason why my nails were lifting so much. Anytime that I would apply pressure onto the tips of my nails, this would lift up. And another thing is, as you guys can see, it like does not look really pretty because you can see my natural nails peeking underneath the actual polygel layer, and so it's just not a very pretty look from underneath. Now there are a few solutions to beat this if you have curved nails like I do, and those are, one, to find dual formers that actually fit your nails. I'm sure there are more rounded dual formers out there that I could also buy, and eventually I will find some that fit my nails. Another thing that you can do is you can use more polygel in the dual forms. So if the blue here is the dual form, and then of course this is my ugly nail bed, in between you're supposed to apply the polygel into the dual form. And for me, this is about how much I applied, because I don't like my nails being super thick. But if you wanted to, I'm sure you can apply more to have it fill in all of this other space. But then that's gonna leave you like a really, really thick nail. If you have an electric file, I can see going in and filing the excess that's, you know, on the tip here, and rounding it out yourself. But if you're just doing it with like a manual nail file like I was doing, it's just gonna take a really long time. But yeah, so that's another solution if you do have curved nails and you want to try polygel nails with the dual forms. But personally for me, I already think that fake nails are thick enough. I can't imagine having it any thicker than this, because I'm like already struggling to pick stuff up from the ground and from tables and stuff. And lastly, what you can do is use a nail form to actually apply the polygel directly onto your nail. It's one of those nail forms that you stick onto the tip of your nails and then it wraps around. I've personally never tried it before, but I feel like polygel is not actually horrible to mold, and so I can actually see sculpting the gel onto a nail form working out, since the gel doesn't really dry until you cure it. So it's not like you're like working on a time constraint like you would with acrylic. And by using a nail form, you're able to really work with your nail bed and custom sculpt the polygel to that nail. So I really like that idea. Again, I haven't tried it yet. I've never been a fan of glued-on tips in the past, and so that's one thing that really appeals to me with polygel, is that you don't have to use tips. And I think if you're able to find the right dual forms, or if you're able to master applying the polygel with a nail form, it's almost seamless. There's not like that little bit of nail that's sticking out like what mine are doing right now. So I think in that sense it's really nice. And although this is my first time trying it and there are flaws in my application this time, I definitely can see this being like my go-to if I want longer nails and I'm too impatient to wait for my nails to grow. And then lastly, this kind of goes back to the polygel not really fitting properly onto my fingernails. Because it's only adhering to part of my nail, the nail tip down here is kind of like sticking out like this, and this is the polygel on top. The polygel is only sticking to like the middle part of my nails, and so anytime I go to like push something, it kind of lifts the polygel up from my nails. And since it's not like even like this where like the entire nail is moving with the polygel, it's putting a lot of pressure on just the part that's touching and adhering to the nail. So this part right here on my nail is getting a lot of pressure anytime I go to push a button, anytime I like bang it against something. I feel like it's just not as secure and not as sturdy unless the polygel has really good adhesion to the entire nail bed. Again, this could be user error, and most likely it is user error, and I will need to take some more time and learn how to use polygel properly, but I am actually very optimistic about it, and I do want to continue working on my technique and trying to get it right, because I do like the system a lot. I hope you guys got something from this video. I hope this helped answer how long polygel nails last. I know that this is a newer trend, even though it's been around for a few years. I feel like only recently have they been marketed towards an at-home kind of system. I know they're all over Amazon now, so they're very affordable in the grand scheme of like nail products, because you get the entire kit for $45, and I feel like that is cheaper than what you would get if you were to go and get your nails done. And this kit just lasts you so much longer because you get so many different applications and so many different colors. So I think it's a great deal. So that about wraps up this video. I hope you found this useful. Please let me know if you have any questions or suggestions in the comment section below. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't done so already, be sure to click on that subscribe button right there and hit that bell notification so you can see more videos like this. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!